what is OPEC Plus? So the history of OPEC, it was founded in 1960. It means the Organization for Petroleum Exporting Countries. And it is made up of countries mostly in the Middle East and Africa, but it has grown over the years. Some countries joining, some quitting. And the point of the organization is to meet once or twice a year in their headquarters in Vienna, Austria, and discuss production quotas per country. So production quotas, essentially how many barrels of oil per day should each member of OPEC produce. And why this matters is with oil, the more barrels of oil out on the global energy markets, that means the less money that an oil producing country can command per barrel of oil. It brings prices down the more barrels of oil exist. Conversely, the less barrels of oil existing on the global energy markets, that means the higher the prices are per barrel of oil, which means that oil producing countries can command more money. So if they all can conclude together, they can manipulate market prices to get the amount of cash they want per barrel of oil, essentially. So OPEC Plus is the latest rendition of OPEC, and it started in 2016 when costs per barrel of oil, they started to dip down a little bit. So they said, let's increase our global command of oil production. So before OPEC Plus, OPEC controlled about 30% of global oil production. After OPEC Plus came to fruition, they began to command 40% of global oil production. So that's a sizable jump. And OPEC Plus added 10 additional members. So the big one is Russia, as they produce around just under 10 million barrels of oil per day, which is not that far off from the leading OPEC member, the big producer, top dog, Saudi Arabia, which produces around 12 million barrels of oil per day, if I'm not mistaken. And on that note, we're talking about Russia and Saudi Arabia. Despite having many countries, and technically they're all equal, this is not necessarily the case. So in particular, Saudi Arabia has outweighed, their influence is vastly stronger compared to many of the other members. So, for example, the little African country of Gabon doesn't command the same amount of weight in what OPEC members do production-wise as Saudi Arabia. And this is important to keep in mind as I discuss the rest of the OPEC production cut outrage.